Hey, you guys, Desmond here, and welcome back to another review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 6, Episode 6, RuMerican Horror Story, Coven Girl. As always, I am joined by LaCresha. So before we get started, I have to remind everybody to like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I am so close to my goal of 100 subscribers. So before we get into this episode, honey, what did you think overall of today's episode?
It was pretty, like you said, it was pretty straightforward.
It was pretty straightforward. There were a few confusions, but we will discuss about those confusions here in a second. So first, I want to give a shout out to our special guest judge, Emma Roberts, and our special guest star, Angela Bassett. We'll talk more on her later. But I'm glad they got two actresses from American Horror Story to come in and do the RuMerican Horror Story, which I'm shocked it took them all this time to do.
Right?
For how popular American Horror Story is, I'm shocked they just now hopped on board. Because they parody every show. You named it, parodied it in some way. Every movie. So I'm glad to see it. I really am. So we're starting off the episode once again saying goodbye to Scarlett and congratulations to the $30,000 winner of Ginger Minge.
Yeah.
Although she shouldn't have won, but that was last week's conversation. Check our video for that. So we revealed the votes and come to find out 4-4. It was a tie, which we discussed last week. What could possibly happen on a tie? But I like their idea better. Because they said if it's a tie, well, what do they both got to go up there and lip sync for their life? That would be a gag.
Yes.
So we got a tie. Scarlett, Jan, please step forward. Now you must lip sync for your life. Oh my God, that'll be a gag. We might see it because we still got quite a few queens, and it's clear that they're not on the same page when it comes to the voting. And I'm glad to see it because last season, when they introduced this whole everybody gets a vote thing, oh, we're all going to vote this way. Now, baby, everybody got their own opinions, except for this episode. We'll get to it later, but everybody voted for the same person.
Yeah.
So I'm over Jan.
I was over Jan 2 weeks ago.
But I'm really over her. After the beginning of this episode, I wrote that down. I'm over Jan. And then I wrote over in all capital letters. Over. I can't. Like, Jan, this is the reason why people have a hard time relating to you. I personally like you, Jan. But the way you're coming off on TV right now, that's not a good look for you, sis. You're giving us very white tears. And baby, in 2021, that's no, ma'am.
That's not a good look.
Not a good look for you. Not a good look for you. I said this earlier this season. I'm going to say it again. I feel like she came back too quick. Literally. Season ended. Came right back in.
Right.
Baby. But all right. We get to the next day. And RuPaul enters the room again. No mini challenge. And then Ru announced that they're going to be overacting in RuMerican Horror Story, Coven Girl. And Ru lets them choose their roles, which I was kind of like, I think they should have let Ginger, since Ginger was last week's winner. I think they should have let Ginger, but hey, let them fight it out. Maybe it'll cause some drama, which it really didn't. We got another game of rock, paper, scissors. That was fun. And poor Ginger can never win paper, rock, scissors. Can never win.
She's like, how'd I lose again?
Like, what the? Baby, the real winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, rock, paper, scissors. Okay? Because two appearances and sent Ginger home both times. Baby. But anyway, I'm going to go over the casting real quick. Ginger played Cassie. I'm sorry, not Ginger. Eureka played Cassie. Aquiria played Gabby. Kylie played Jessica. Pandora played Frances. Raja and TKB played Sarah and Angela. Ginger played Emma. And Jan played Leah. Did you realize the name of these characters? They're all the name of the actresses. The actress's real name, like Leah Michelle, Jan. Emma Roberts was Ginger because that's their characters. They didn't give them their character's name, but they gave them the actual actresses that portrayed them. I thought that was so funny. I thought that was amazing. That was really cool. I thought that was a cute little, be like, oh, I see what y'all did there.
So wait, because Sarah was who? The two-headed one was what?
Raja was Sarah, which is Sarah Paulson.
Yeah.
And then TKB was Angela as Angela Bassett.
Oh, okay.
They just put them together. Obviously, Raja couldn't play both parts.
Right.
So they had a conversation with Angela Bassett.
I loved it.
Oh, I loved it. It was a great, once again, I love these FaceTimes that they be getting. Like, she really gave them some great advice. They talked about Tina Turner. They talked about American Horror Story. Talked about her aspirations. Lord, work is following me home. Her inspirations. And, you know, how she always wants to find the human part of a character. Like, yeah, this character was woo, 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 but you also got to make sure they're human. They're centered. And I like that. I really did. And you can see some of them took that critique and some didn't. So let's see. Now, I normally don't talk about, you know, them recording it, but there's one moment that I just really want us to discuss.
All right.
Michelle Visage had to get up and show Kylie how to do her part.
That was confusing.
I'm sorry, that would have been an automatic bottom placement for me. If the judge has to get up out of her seat, sashay across that stage, stand in your spot and deliver your lines so you know how to deliver them, no. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, which I said my piece already, but I'm going to say it again later just because I can. So the mirror moment, that we really didn't get one. They were just talking about, you know, spirits and do you believe in spirits? Did you play with Ouija boards? You know, stuff like that. And Aquiria says she wants to buy a funeral home. Yeah, that is
choices.
That is an interesting one too. I'm like, okay,
right. And I guess there was like a little bit of tea on the little bromance with TKB.
Oh, with TKB and Eureka. I did. Did I write that? I did. I wrote that down next to it, Eureka / TKB, which I thought that was cute. But I didn't take it as serious. If they were serious, cool. You know,
right.
Go ahead.
You see, I said bromance. I didn't say like.
So if it's true, cool. But you saw how TKB later left Eureka for Kylie. She was like, I'm sorry, Eureka, but Kylie.
You looking some kind of way right now.
Hey, okay. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the runways first, and then we're going to talk about the acting challenge, okay? So let's do the runways. We're going to bring it to the runway. Run, the runway. I'm bringing it up with the runway. Okay. So we're sharing it on this screen. Howdy do. Let me make it bigger for you. So let's talk about, wrong one. Hold up.
Yes, wrong screenshots. That was last week.
That was last week's. Here we go. There we go. This week's pick. So what do we think of our judges this week? Can we talk about Ru's look real quick? I'm gonna let you go first. What did you think of Ru's look?
You know, I didn't pay attention the first time. And the second time I watched it because I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
God, what is that movie?
There's a movie reference that's coming to you?
Yes. Like Mad Max-esque type.
Okay. But did you like this look?
You know, it was a choice.
I like it, but you know me, I love a thigh high. This
and
outfit.
You always think everything goes better with a thigh high.
Outfit, please tell me I'm not tripping. Let me know if I'm tripping. Wouldn't a thigh high look better with that outfit? Or am I tripping?
But not that sandal either, though.
Yeah, this shoe is a chop. Now, Miss Michelle ate Ru up this week. I love this. I love everything this is. I love everything this was, and I love everything this will continue to be. Ross looks nice. Emma, come on, baby bump. I forgot she was pregnant last year.
Right. I commend her for working while pregnant.
Working while pregnant, baby. Go ahead. Go.
Especially considering how hard it was for her to conceive in the first place.
And for it to be this time last year when the pandemic was at its peak.
Mm-hmm.
So, baby, thank you for coming through and blessing the television screens. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, the category this week is Oh My God. So, you hear Oh My God. What are you bringing?
Oh my God. Ooh. Mm-hmm. There are so many different directions you could go with that.
Yeah. As soon as I heard it, and I'm kind of upset nobody did it, you know that tweener rock look that was very popular in the early 2010s?
Like the emo look?
Yeah, with the big poofy black hair, the striped stockings, the big chunky boots. I would have gave you very that.
Very Ben Delacreme, her season of All Stars, when she was upset and decided, oh, I'm gonna go dark.
Oh, kind of. She kind of went gothy, but I would have went fully there. Are you familiar with the group The Millionaires?
No.
When we get done here, I'm gonna go. Well, I'll show you a picture of them when they first started, not how they looked towards the end of their career. When they first started, it would have been very much that, but in all black.
Like MySpace version.
Yeah. MySpace is a perfect. Yeah, MySpace. You're in that. You're there.
Yeah.
I would have gave you very that. Oh, I would have gave you that down.
Very MySpace Jeffree Star.
That era, I would have gave you all of that. I would have gave you every piece of that.
And that might have been where I took it. The big faux hawk.
Oh my God.
The black base and the bright blue hair.
You remember that?
Something like Raja's look.
Yeah. Do you remember the meme that goes around with all those rockers dancing and they put some weird song next to it? I'll have to find that for you too. But yeah, that's where I would have went with it. So are you ready for these queens?
Yes.
Up first, Ginger Minge. What did you think of Miss Minge?
That was very Beetlejuice.
Hey, listen, I like this look, but I don't think Ginger realized how short she is. She can't wear a long dress like that, a dress that cuts off right here, because she doesn't have the leg to.
Well, it's a T-length dress. It's supposed to stop right there.
But she don't have the leg for it. That's my.
I think if she'd have went with a calf boot instead of a ankle boot instead of a calf boot.
Maybe because it just makes it look like she's head, body, feet. You know what I'm saying? Like the proportions isn't right. In the proportion eyes. But I like it. It's just from here down, it looks very no. You know what I'm saying? Up next, we have Eureka. You found it. What did you think?
I think she should have went with like bright purple hair or white hair. But other than that, I liked it.
I can see what you're talking about there, but I really enjoyed this look. Like, I love the see-throughness of it. Like, everything was right for me. This is not my favorite Eureka look this season, but definitely one of the tops. Like, she heard the assignment and she did it correctly.
How do you get your hair to stay up?
Next, woo! This screenshot.
My queen, I done fell in love with this woman.
This screenshot does not do this look justice.
No, it does not.
Can we talk about the beauty, the amazing,
yes, the elegance,
Kardashian?
Okay. No words, but in a good way.
Oh, this was right. The train, the hat, the makeup, the flowers on top of the feathers on top of the lace, as she said, like that. Oh,
the sequence.
This alone should have had her in the top. This alone should have had her in the top, honey. that, whoa, this is like the second or third week in a row where her look is my favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, this is my favorite look of the week. Like, she understood the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
This is goth, but make it glamour. If the Met Gala's category was goth, this is what I would expect them to wear out. This is what I would expect Beyonce, Nicki, Rihanna, Katie. This is
all
what I would
she's
expect them
missing
to
is
come
like
out.
the Pope cap, and she'd have fit into the last one we had.
What was the category for the last one?
Well, no, the category before that, 2019's, because the one we had, no, not 2020s. So it would be 2018, because 2018 was when it was like the churchy one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
And Rihanna wore the Pope cap with the big old jacket.
Yes. Gag me with a spoon. Yes.
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 Because the one after that was camp. 2019.
I remember nobody did camp, but the category was camp. But anyway, let's move over to Raja O'Hara. Stunning.
Yeah, I love that outfit. Like, she pulled that off. The hair was right. I loved it.
The pants, although she's been wearing a lot of pants this season, I'm gonna be quiet. The pants is right. This beautiful.
I love the top.
Beautiful. Just the lace, the hair, the makeup even looks different for Raja. Like, she really did this.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what saved her.
Oh, honey, we'll talk about that more. Aquiria C. Davenport. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That gave me very Met Gala night 2018.
Yeah, that headpiece alone is a yes. And the body, yada, yada, okay? And look at the heel. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I can zoom in more on it, but look at it.
The stripper heel.
Love
with
it.
The see-through bottom.
Chef's kiss. Mwah. That's one thing about Aquiria. She has slayed a majority of these runways.
Yes.
Like, she did not come to play with these hoes. Okay. I don't know who you playing with on this runway, but you ain't playing with Aquiria.
She said, I got money, honey.
Next is Jan. I have to give Jan her props. I love this look.
I was very underwhelmed by this.
What? Okay, explain.
Like, I don't know. I guess because it was like kind of, I don't know what I expected from her. It wasn't this.
I was not expecting this, but I loved everything that this is.
Or maybe it's just the bias because it's Jan.
Yeah, I had to put my bias aside. This is amazing. This is a beautiful garment. The makeup is spooky. The hair, I love the see-through. The body look right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah. Kylie Sonique love, honey. Kylie Sonique love.
She said, I paid for it. I'm gonna show it off.
Baby, look at this, honey. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. But I don't really get goth though. Do you get goth?
No, I get more dominatrix.
Yeah, I get more lady of the night, more dominatrix. Like, it's still amazing, but I don't think this was the category. This is amazing look. I love it.
Right.
But I don't like seeing this, and I didn't know what the category was. I would have guessed leather.
That's what I was gonna say.
I would have guessed leather, dominatrix, lady of the night. I wouldn't have guessed.
Or like, oh holy night, something.
Like, you kind of see it with the face and hair, but the actual outfit, I don't see it. She still looks stunning though. Stunning.
No, I don't see it with the hair.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Last but definitely not least, Miss Pandora Box. I like this.
It's very her.
Very her. Came out, I immediately knew the story. I love this little headpiece on the head that drapes down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the nails. Her makeup is amazing. Like, I love that. Especially for her to be an older queen. Like, she really paints well. And I love every every piece.
Right. And thankfully she knows how to set her makeup where it don't just sit in her lines.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've seen a couple of older queens do. Hell, there's some queens that aren't even that old and you can still see.
Yeah, this is pretty good. So let's talk about. Oh wait, who's your favorite for this week? I know I stated mine, but who's yours?
It was trendy.
Trendy. Period. Now it's time to talk about RuMerican Horror Story, Coven Girls. So here's a screenshot of all of them. We'll start. We'll just go left to right. How did you think Jan do as Leah?
I mean, she was true to character.
Baby, true to character, and I was annoyed. And I'm like, well,
all the way annoyed.
she did her job because when I watch Glee, Rachel annoys me. And I'm like,
I think watching it and more or less, I kind of overlooked Leah watching it. And I think if I go back and watch it again, I will probably be annoyed with Leah, especially, after doing the deep dive of YouTubes that I do on a tendency when I'm like really, really just into something and, figuring out how annoying she was, how much of a BTI she was. Yeah, how mean she was on set. And I'm just like, her and the baby, they was polar opposites. And I'm pretty sure, like, for a split second, he kind of calmed her little evil self down. And then after he was gone, it just kind of was like, forget it. That's why there were only 6 seasons. And the last season was 5 episodes.
Yeah, after he passed, Ryan Murphy said, he's already got cleared for 6 seasons. After the 6th season, he wasn't going to continue it, and I think that's when the fans really turned on the show. Like, you're really just gonna quit on this show because one of the characters passed away? Like, this isn't the first show that a main cast member passed away, but the show continued on.
Yeah, but he was the heart of the show.
What
and I could who? Corey?
Corey was not the heart of that show. I didn't like Finn. Well, hold on. I had a love-hate relationship with Finn, but this ain't a Glee review. Anyway,
we keep saying, "Oh, we'll do that next time," but we don't ever do anything outside of Drag Race.
Dead and gone. Like, if we do a review on Glee, yeah, it must be a really slow week. So let's move on to Aquiria as Gabby. I don't like that they put her in a fat suit.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
And it wasn't even a good one. Like, if you were going to do it, make sure.
No, because it was just the stomach.
Yeah.
And some thighs.
And I'm like, I get it. The actress who played that voodoo, whatever you want to call her, she is a plus size girl, but she didn't have to put the padding in her stomach and thighs or wherever she put it.
I don't know if they put her in that or if she put herself in that.
I think I'll have to do a deep dive, but I think they told her, because these outfits they give them. So like They probably said here, and also here's the stuffing for the suit.
Mm-hmm. She could have, like, if she was patting herself, she probably could have patted herself better.
Yeah. But overall, I actually she was kind of off, but she was like, nobody, let me say this, nobody on this cast was bad. This is actually probably one of my favorite acting challenges. Like, I was entertained the whole time. The only one that kind of missed the mark was Raja, and we'll get to her in a minute.
Because she didn't understand what a lisp was.
Yeah, so we'll get to her. But like, I feel like collectively they did an amazing job, and the only sour apple was Raja. Everybody else did an amazing job. Let's talk about Ginger as Emma.
I loved her.
I loved it.
Like, to see the plus girl be the skinny bitch was just lovely.
Seeing the plus girl being that fashion it girl that everybody else wanted to be, love that. Love that.
And the outfit is adorable.
Love it. Kylie.
She looked just like her.
She did look like Jessica Lange. I was like, damn. And she was really good here. And
in that moment,
in that moment, you can see where she took Michelle's, like she did it as Michelle did. And I don't think if without Michelle standing up, she would have got to this point. But she got there. And I wouldn't have put her in the top. This would have been safe just because Michelle had to literally get up and show her how to do it. But she did an amazing job. She really did.
Because to be completely honest, it was Emma's win.
This week we'll talk more on it. Eureka, what did you think of Eureka O'Hare?
I was a little annoyed.
I enjoyed it. The only part that was weird to me was I'm Eureka's fan. The rest was great. The rest was good to me. I'm like, come on, Eureka, work. So what did you think of TKB and Raja O'Hara? We'll talk about them together.
I think TKB did great.
TKB did amazing.
Yes.
For her not to have a dominant role, she did amazing. And every time she was on that screen, guess what? You're looking at Trinity. Because she did an amazing job. What about Raja?
Again, it was the lack of a list. Like I don't know where she got the choice that a list meant a high-pitched voice.
That was very confusing. And my thing is, how do you even mimic a list? Because I know I have one, but like I wouldn't know how to mimic it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you just gotta choose. Are you gonna sit here and be lazy with your tongue and then you just kind of sound like this?
Okay.
And then you just kind of go from there, and that's how you sound with a list. And if she'd have just did this, she'd have been okay.
Oh yeah, it was the high-pitched voice that was not.
But instead, she chose to be like this, and instead she sounded like Ellen was from, what was that show? Those words were days.
Oh, was it All in the Family?
No, but close.
Family Ties, Family Matters.
No.
Oh crap! I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's the one that Family Guy mimics at the beginning of their show. Yeah. So let's talk about Pandora as Frances / Joan. What did you think of?
It was a typical role for her.
I thought she did a really good job.
But she did a really good job.
And I'm like, they kind of slept on her here, and I'm like. They kind of slept on several, like I said, nobody did a bad job. So somebody had to be safe. Had to be safe. So that is our challenge. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now.
I like that rug, even though I'm not a big fan
of. So our top queens this week were Ginger Minj, Jan, and Kylie Sonique Love. With our bottom queens being Raja, Aquiria, and Eureka. Do you agree with this top and bottom placement?
Eureka
was in the bottom.
Yeah, but no.
I don't agree with this placement. I personally feel Ginger should have been in the top. Trinity should have been in the top. Pandora should have been in the top. To me, those were the top queens, with Kylie and Jan being safe. I do agree with the bottom three, only because Eureka had that one moment I didn't like, and the other two were lacking. But the top placements this week was completely off. And like you said earlier, Ginger should have won this challenge.
Yeah.
I was confused because I'm like, okay, they're giving Kylie a top spot. Okay, cool. But most likely this is going to go to Ginger, maybe Jan, but I was thinking more Ginger. So when they said Kylie, I'm like, okay, work.
Yeah, because I really wasn't wasn't really paying attention to the critiques. And then they said Kylie, and I looked up and I was like, she won. But that should, if I have to give it up and tell you how to do the job I asked you to do,
yeah,
no.
Safe at best.
Honestly, safe at best.
Could have been low for it, in my opinion. Switch her out with Eureka and have Eureka be safe. I love Kylie. I'm glad she got that win because, that pushed her closer to the top four because she's in whose? Mine. But I don't think this was her win. Again, this is the second week in a row where I don't agree with the winner.
That and the fact that, like, why are you trying to gently guide Raja to the correct spot, but then you just blatantly got up and gave Kylie what it was.
It was very clear they wanted Kylie to have this win.
So I'm
not saying Michelle's never stood up before, but they've never shown it on camera.
Right.
So yeah, I don't agree with the top placements except for Ginger. I think Ginger, they should have just waited a week and gave Ginger this win because this is the win she should have got.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, the win went to Kylie. And our bottom two queens of the week are Raja and Aquiria. Now, I do agree with those two being in the bottom.
Uh-huh.
So the queens go back, they cry, they talk, they whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-whoop-whoop. They come back to the main stage. And can we talk about the outfit Kylie lip synced in? Now, I didn't grab a screenshot, but baby, where was her
thought
clothes?
at any moment we was going to get a blur.
And we did. At certain points of the lip sync, if you notice, we do get a blur. I'm like, man, why would you bring that to lip sync in? Like, that should have at least supported the girls. Like, the girls were just free.
Well, she ain't really got to worry about them bouncing because they just stuck there.
Baby.
There's no fat surrounding that. That's just under the muscle.
Okay. I'm not too familiar how the implants work. But yeah.
Look, I could tell because them things look painful.
Oh, they look painful to you? Oh, okay.
They look red. Yeah.
Okay. Now we find out this week's lip sync assassin is season 3. All Stars 1 and All Stars 4 competitor, Manila Luzon.
Yes, I like the little clap at
Yeah, she's like, I love your hair, Michelle. I was like, yes. Come through. Ooh, so they lip synced to Dirty by Christina Aguilera. What did you think of this lip sync?
I don't think Manila gave it what it was supposed to be giving.
I don't think this song is in Manila's warehouse.
No.
She she normally likes to camp up a song and have fun with it. With a song like Dirty, there's no camping that up. And if you remember on All Stars 1, when she tried to be all sexy, spooky, when she did the Nasty by Janet, you saw what happened there. And now we're here back again. And I just think she has an issue with some of the sexier songs. And I think Kylie, ma'am, I love the callbacks to the original lip sync she did on season 2, the flips, it was at one point the legs were just straight up in the air. I really enjoyed it. The only issue I had is she did the same move twice. Did you notice that? The backflip into a split, she did it twice. And I'm like, oh, no ma'am. If Manila would have been a better competitor, I would have gave that lip sync to her just because you did that move twice. Because it was
I felt like Kylie was trying to move, but a lot of her movement, like when you walked out, like, because even when you walked up to your box, the bottom half of your boobies was hanging out. So you knew it was ill-fitting. When you went to change your lipstick, the bottom half of your boobies was hanging out.
It was intentional at the bottom being out.
However, if you know you're going to do backflips and you're going to have to raise your arm, and I can't lift this one because my chest hurts, but lift your arm and bam, 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 and stuff like that. And you know good and gosh darn well that thing's going to rise.
And at one point you can see her pull it down. So, yeah.
I'm like, you should have taped at the very least.
Yeah, some tape, that would have helped. Or just maybe it's one of those things where somebody made it for her, but she didn't have time to try it on before she left for All Stars. So she got there. She's like, I might not be here again. So I want to wear this, and boobies are out.
Right. She still had enough time to tape or at least put band-aids on the nips. But yeah, I feel like a lot of her moves were like slow and measured because she was trying to make sure that they didn't.
But the move she did do, stunning. So
Yes.
Kylie won the lip sync, which I do agree. Kylie did win the lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
And she chose to send home Aquiria. LaCresha, congratulations. You're the winner of this challenge. You're looking at Aquiria, you're looking at Raja. Who are you sending home?
I would have sent home Aquiria too, just because this was her third time in the bottom.
Yeah, you know me, I like to look at it both ways. The fair way would have been Aquiria. If you're going to play the game, baby, I would have been like, Raja. And see, one thing you know what I would have done? Because going into that, if I was Raja, I would know that nobody's really going to vote for me. Like, come on. So to stir the pot, you know what I would do? I would vote for myself. So next week, when we pull out and there's a Raja, so which one of y'all? And then next thing you know, we're causing some drama. They're like, oh, who do you think it could be? I'm like, baby, I heard it was Kylie. And then bam, guess who's out next? Or I'm like, oh, I heard it was Ginger. And guess who's
I heard it was Jan.
And knowing me, I heard it was Jan. No, give it a Jan. I heard it was Jan. I heard it was Jan, honey. Yep. And then guess who's next out the door? You know what I'm saying? I would have done that. Because say if I'm up for elimination and I know, like the person I'm up against, that I know I'm not going home, I would purposely vote for myself just to put a little toot and see, you know, how this gonna play out in the workroom. Be like, ooh, drama. I'm gonna be sitting there, oh. And you know my dramatic self, me. One of y'all voted for me. And I'm gonna be like this. I see how y'all want to play the game now. I see how I knew y'all were those type of girls. Whoever did it, I knew you were that type of girl. You know, fess up. Fess up. Nobody gonna step up and be like, I see how it is. I would. Don't let me get on All Stars. I'm playing the game and I'm playing the fool, okay? I am playing the fool. Until they realize that I'm playing the game, then they'll probably send me.
Yes. They
and this whole, you know, at the beginning when they tell everybody who they voted for, I wouldn't. Who this one voted for Scarlett? I'll be sitting there like, no, my goodness, well, I voted for Scarlett. It wasn't me, honey. Clearly, I voted for Jan. She's still here.
Oh, Jan. Oh my God. I don't understand why everybody's voting for me because you're annoying. You don't need to be here no more. You came back too quick. You are not mature enough. You are not.
But yeah,
I said what I said.
If you watched Untucked, then you would have seen that everybody voted for Aquiria, except for Aquiria, of course. She chose Raja.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, because of that, I would put my own name in there. So when there's two Rajas, I'm like, oh, we're playing the game. I see. I hope if I ever do make it to All Stars, I'm going to take these videos down because I don't need them knowing my plans. I'm taking them down. You will not know what I said. Private of all of them. You ain't watching none of them, okay? And don't you dare make them public while I'm gone. You heard me?
You act like I'm gonna have access to the account.
I'm finna say if it gets to that point, you would, but still.
Oh, okay.
Don't you post them shit. Trying to tell my game. Anyway.
Well, by that time it'll be over.
By that time, I'll come back. We need to take those videos down. That's all I'm gonna say. Krisha, we need to go take the All-Star 6 review down. Like now.
We need to take down the All-Star
5,
the All-Star 6.
No. Listen, before I even leave, I'm gonna go ahead and hit these on private because I already know how I'm gonna act when I get there. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on private.
Oh, so you just gonna make it obvious that you're on the season?
It's clear. Like when Queens start canceling shows and doing all this other stuff, it's clear that means they're finna head to All Stars. It's very clear. So like I wouldn't say, but here's the thing, I wouldn't say nothing. They would just boom. And if somebody were to say something, you'll just say they were demonetized or say there was strikes against them or something. You know what I'm saying? So we can play it off. Oh, YouTube took them down, not us, not me. Before I left, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God! And then what are we gonna do for episodes? Or I might have to carry the mantle by myself.
I'm gonna say, ooh, it depends. Because there's Drag Race all year round. That'll be another way that it'll give it away. I'm not here. We'll just ask one of our friends to step in. We'll say I'm taking a sabbatical. Like that's gonna make it even more obvious. He has to take.
He's out of the country.
He had to take a 2-month sabbatical. Oh, really? A 2-month sabbatical? Okay. We know.
No, he'll be gone for a couple of weeks, and he got sick while he was there, so he had to quarantine.
Like I would come up with something. Like I would try my best to not have anybody know where I am.
Yeah, because we zooming and we 2.5 hours away, so. And then, we did Zoom while I was out of the state.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, so you can't do this because of what?
Like I said, I'll find a reason and it'll make sense. I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, but hey, be
like, we decided to step back from Drag Race for a little bit and
go
back to our traditional podcast.
If I was ever going to be on the show, like I doubt if that'll ever happen, but still. Anyway, next week's episode, we're going to get the girl group challenge. So
do you think this will be the one where, the other people come back?
I don't know.
We got one more episode.
We're getting close to that halfway mark. So I would think it's coming. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
Now I do know what the comeback challenge is. I'm not going to state it here. I do know what the comeback challenge is.
Spoilers.
I told you I knew.
I don't know, but okay.
Because around the time I was telling you the cast, I'm like, I do know what the comeback, because I saw it on Twitter. I was like, dang it. Because when people were talking about the rumored cast, they were talking about the redemption episode. I'm like, so I know what it is. And for it to happen, we need an even number of girls eliminated. So this could be the one where this queen's eliminated.
How many queens left?
There's 7 left. So if one goes home next week, that'll give it an even number, and they need an even number to do it. So it could be the following week. Like after next week's challenge, it could be that following week. I don't think they will wait too far late into competition to do it. So it'll make sense for it to be coming up. But the girl group challenge. So with the girl group challenge, who do you think is going to go home next?
Pandora?
Yeah. I was thinking that when I hear girl group challenge, I think Pandora. Because I think Ginger would do enough to be safe. I think Eureka, Trinity, Raja, and Jan will kill it. Right. I think Kylie would kill
Especially PKB and Jan.
Oh, and you can see they're on opposite teams too. Baby. They finna give it to us. And I don't know who the lip sync assassin is next week, but I saw that orange dress, so I already love them. I don't know who it is, but I saw the orange dress and I'm like, yes. I hope you.
Do you think they'll ever repeat lip sync assassins, or are they just gonna start?
That would be fun. That would be interesting. Well, we just started the lip sync assassin. It's only the 2nd season, so I think it's too soon to repeat one, unless it's like a iconic lip sync assassin. Say if it's Kennedy Davenport, I wouldn't be mad if they brought her back. You know what I'm saying? It have to be along the lines of one of those queens. Or it could be kind of like how they did with season 13. They kept bringing Lonnie, TS, and who else was that other judge that kept coming back again? It was Lonnie, T.S. Madison. There was another guest judge that came back several times.
Mannequin.
Oh, no. Nicole Byer.
Yeah.
So maybe due to their predicament, they might have to repeat it. So you never know. It might be Coco again next week. But we'll see. Now, my theory that the lip sync assassins are actually the contestants for All Star 7 still stands. Still stands. Because Manila, I wouldn't be mad at a fourth time.
Fourth time's the charm.
Maybe Manila could come back every season. I'll be like, yes. And Untucked, she made it very clear that if they invited her back again, she would be here. So I'm sticking with my theory that the lip sync assassins of this season is the cast of All Star 7. I'm sticking with that. So, is there anything else you want to touch on this episode before we get out of here? Well, baby, tell them where they can find you on the media of socials.
I am at Cretia McGill on all social media.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you for spending a piece of your day with us. And we will see y'all Sunday for a Drag Race España review, honey. We're going to be reviewing the whole season. So you better be ready.